Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. I hope that you're well. So today is the 12th of February as I record this, and I thought we would just pull some cards today, throw some dice on the Snakes and Ladders board and see what messages we get coming through from Spirit. There's an awful lot going on at the moment. We have a full moon in Leo coming up next week, the lion roaring, and we've also, of course, got Valentine's Day on the 14th. Shout out to all of you lovers out there. Hope you have a great day. And we've got the Freedom Convoy protests, but I don't even want to call them protests. I want to call them celebrations going on around the world. Those of you that follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you know that I've been putting up quite a lot of the pictures from that. And oh my gosh, it's just heart-opening to see so many people coming out onto the streets. In the UK, they were reporting 10,000 in Canberra yesterday, but I mean, it was many more than that. But the fact they're even reporting that number is a breakthrough in itself. So keep on going, hold the line. Shout out to Paris, Belgium, obviously Ottawa, Canada, Canberra, New Zealand, all the places which are sort of really standing up for freedom of choice. And I am 100% with you. The one thing I would say though, and I did put this on Instagram this morning, but not many people have maybe picked up on it, but I really think it's important to pick up on this, is that these gatherings, which despite what the media are trying to portray them as, are peaceful and loving, in the vast majority of cases, there's always going to be a few troublemakers or a few plants that are in any crowd. But the overall energy is very peace-loving, very flower power, actually. That actually helps raise the collective vibration of this planet on all aspects. If you have any gathering that is loving and peaceful in nature, it will raise the vibration of the planet. We're at a very pivotal time right now, going into the week ahead. The rumblings of potential war between Ukraine and Russia are real. I've already read on this. Those of you that didn't see that video, I read on it maybe 2 weeks ago. What I said there still stands, that it's an unwinnable war. It will be like a Vietnam type situation if it happens, because Ukraine will never give up their sovereignty. If you think about it, why would they? They fought very hard for it. And the future of our planet is us being sovereign as individuals. So the point I'm trying to make is that when we have this uplift of high vibration, there's always going to be a counterattack by the dark. And I think one of the ways they might try and quell this love quest that is happening around the planet at the moment is to bring in the oldest trick in the book, which is that of war. So let's try and hold the peace in that land, those lands as well. And let's pray for cool heads to prevail, okay? But yeah, that's really, really important. So the vibration being raised is for many things, not just what people think that they are actually fighting for. It's about the future of this planet and where we're all going. But yeah, if something does break out next week, stay in your hearts, hold the line, and I'll come back and talk more on that, all right? Anyway, today, let's just pull some cards. That's what I feel like I want to do. I've got a few decks to play with. Let's start with an animal, shall we? This is the Druid Animal Oracle deck by Philip Carr and Stephanie Gom. And I feel like I'd just like to start with an animal. So let's do that and see what we get. I'm half expecting it to be a lion, but no, it's not a lion, just because of the Leo energy. I'm not surprised to see this animal at all, because it's bringing up a big message on spiritual protection. I know I've got a bear as an animal totem. I've got quite a few animal totem guides. You probably have as well, or animal guides rather. But the bear is a very protective energy. And isn't the bear also a symbol of Russia? That's interesting in itself. But anyway, let me try not to read too much into the cards at this point. We've also got the Earth Dragon card on the bottom of the deck. We've got the Bear and the Earth Dragon. Okay. Interesting just in terms of the energy of the two cards. Can you see they both have the same colour vibration? It's that, what would I call that? It's like a, well, I know it's brown, but it's like a golden brown. It's golden brown, very earthy animals that walk the earth. They're not animals that fly in the sky. They are of the earth. I mean, this is an earth dragon. I don't think it actually flies. I just want to keep those there, and I want to come back to them in a minute, okay, in terms of what they might be representing. I want to pull some cards now, and let's just see. No, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw the dice. So, again, if you're not on my social media, on my other channels, you might not know about this, but I've got this Snakes and Ladders board here. This links into the messages, 6 messages from Metatron video that I did about a month ago, and one of the things he was talking about for the whole of 2022 was that it was going to be a bit like Snakes and Ladders. Okay, so you can look back at what that means and why I'm talking about it. But equally, what then happened and what transpired was people were reminding me that actually Snakes and Ladders was derived from a very, very ancient game, which was linked into different, you landed on different planes of existence. You could land on a virtue or a vice. The snakes were obviously there to trip you up. The ladders or arrows, as it is in this game, were there to help you ascend higher, linked into the whole game of life. So I've shook the dice twice so far, and firstly we got avarice, which was linked into material greed, money, all of that. Then we went up to nullity, I can say it, nullity, a plane of nullity. It's like the 0 point energy. So where are we going from there? So let's go from 13 to wherever we are going over the next week. Let's hope it's good. Let's give the dice a shake and see what Spirit have to say. Where are we going over the next week? From 13, where do we go? 6. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We go to selfless service. Selfless service, which is actually 27. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I've gone the wrong way. I'd quite like to go to selfless service because that's actually an arrow that takes us all the way up to 41, but I did it wrong. So let me do it again. Went the wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh God, yeah. Oh, I know now why I didn't want to land on 19. I mean, it wasn't a deliberate mistake. It's the plane of karma. Okay, so very karmic week coming up. Chickens coming home to roost. Karmic payback. And it's not on an arrow, it's not on a snake, it's just we're in a karmic time, very karmic. What does that mean in terms of this reading? It means that what we have sowed, so shall you reap. In a nutshell, what you have sown is what you shall reap. If you have done good, it will come back to you tenfold. If you have been sneaking around, lying, manipulating, betraying, etc., it can come back to you as well. This can also be linked into past life. So it also feels as though this is linked into energies coming back to you that you need at this time. So those of us that have been, I want to say of selfless service, I don't think it was a mistake that I landed on that as well. Those of us that have been of selfless service, whether in this life or in another life, it's as though there's a bit of help coming. There's a bit of help coming. I mean, many of us have been out there on the front line of what feels like a battle a lot of the time, and I'm talking spiritual battle, day in, day out, when we don't want to do it, when we're tired, when we'd much rather be lying on a beach or whatever, I don't know. But we turn up, we do it. And, you know, I'm talking about that in a big, wide spectrum of things, you know, people that are nurses, people that are counsellors, people that are healers, people that are parents. You know, if you're a parent, it's sometimes the hardest job in the world. You know, it can be a thankless task as well sometimes, not always, but sometimes it can. It's about being of service and putting yourself not first. You're doing something for others. You should also, of course, also be looking after your own tank. So those of us that have been doing that, it's as though there is some good karma coming our way. And I can't help but wonder whether these all these convoys that we're seeing is part of that, because when it started off in Ottawa, wasn't it? And we could see the people gathering, the trucks gathering. In my wildest dreams, I didn't dare to dream. Sorry about the phone. I didn't dare to dream or dare to hope that it would spread so quickly to other places around the world. And when I saw those pictures from Canberra this morning, it just really filled my heart with hope. So, and that's all about people gathering en masse with the right intention and from their heart, to stand up for freedom of choice, and not because they want to diss another or be separate or be divisive, just purely freedom of choice. Please remember also there are many people in those crowds who also have had the you-know-what. This isn't, you know, and who are of all political parties as well. So whatever the media try to say in terms of, oh yeah, they're just a whole load of right-wing nutters, conspiracy nutheads, you know, you can try and label us that, but we're not. It's very clear to see with people that've got eyes who's actually turning out to those crowds, and it's beautiful to hold. I'm actually getting to the point where I feel sorry for people that really can't see what it is. But anyway, hey-ho. So yes, karma. Let's pull a card on karma, shall we? On the bottom of this deck, we've got Rest and Reconsider, which is the Hermit card. And I sort of want to pull that first, because that does feel as though it's tied in. At the end of the day, when we have karma occurring and we're aware of it in our life, maybe there is something you've done and you're paying a bit of a penance, or something's coming back to you, which is good. It's good to pause. It's good to acknowledge, rather than just go charging on. It feels like it's a very powerful week coming up, very powerful week. And it's a number 9 card, which is the energy of a new cycle that wishes to birth itself. Let's have 2 more cards linking into karma for this week ahead. And I'm going to pull in Archangel Metatron now. So Metatron, 2 more cards with karma. He wants me to use his own deck. He's like, why are you not using my deck? Okay, because there is a karma card in here, but let's just do it. Okay. Listen to the boss. I'm listening to the boss. Right. Karma. Week ahead, Metatron. Duality. Balance needed. Okay, so I know now why I needed to use this deck. And we've got Mother Earth on the bottom of the deck. I'll take that one as well. The darkness and polarity. The darkness and the separation and the division in our world has become so extreme that it has to come back into some form of balance. Mother Earth is crying out for that to be so. And it needs to start with us. We need to be bringing ourselves back into a place of balance. And this can work both ways. Those people that have had their head completely in the sand, in la-la land, as I call it, you know, and it's all just light and love and fluff and all, you know, and not wanting to look at some of the issues that are out there in our world, which are widespread and always have been. It's like time to get yourself out, get the head out of the sand and start to look around, and maybe try to be of selfless service as well. Okay. But equally, those people that have been down the rabbit hole too much, you know, and are just can't see the light, they need to come back into balance as well. So there's a bit of that going on, but equally the duality and balance needed card with Mother Earth is also saying to me that maybe Mother Earth may step in and do something to help bring balance back over the next week, or certainly within this next cycle, which is birthed with the full moon in Leo energy. So between this full moon and the next full moon, potentially something occurring with Mother Earth. One thing I've noticed over the years is that often when there is a clamour for justice, or there is about to be an injustice, Mother Earth often steps in to either pause events, or just to allow us to calm down a bit. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's almost like she brings in something or brings something up, which just is it's almost this type of energy. It's this thing where it's like we actually just have to stop and acknowledge and maybe be there for each other. I'm going to pull a couple of earth cards now as I'm talking. And I'm going to get this deck, which I was looking at earlier. And that one, actually. Let's just get all the decks out today. Native Spirit deck. I'm wondering even if around the Russia-Ukrainian border or that area of the world, whether something may happen. I don't know much about the ley lines there or fault lines or anything. It could even be more linked into weather. I mean, at the end of the day, if war were to break out, and I do not want to try and manifest that in, so cancel, clear, delete, but I have to say it to be able to articulate this point. But say worst case scenario happened, I'm being shown, I know there is snow on the ground now, but equally I'm being taken to the Second World War and the terrible conditions within Russia, the snow that actually prevented advancement and also caused a lot of suffering, of course, but it won't go on for that long. And it won't be as bad as that, but it's just there's something to do with the weather that actually is there to try to either escalate reconciliation and peace or stop something from happening, or I don't know. I mean, it's almost like, I mean, this is like a very old-fashioned reference, but it's almost like, I don't know, like the guns locking or freezing, or I mean, that probably wouldn't happen, but something like that. That's what I'm feeling. So, okay, let's go now to, let's just pull a card on Mother Earth and how she's feeling over this year. But actually, let me just say before I do that, you see, I'm being drawn back to the Bear card and talking about Russia and Ukraine. And I do think this is Mother Russia, the bear. And she's like a bear with a sore head at the moment, or her leadership is. It's like a bear with a sore head. And there is snow on the ground on that card. There is snow on the ground. The vibe I'm getting here is, it's almost as though she's reached the border. I'm talking about Mother Russia here. She's reached the border. She has the spoils of glory, the gold, representing power and strength at her, you know, at her feet. But she's sort of turning away, almost as though, is there actually a stomach for this? Is there a stomach for the fight ahead? That could even be, it doesn't have to be the energy of Putin, it could be the people on the ground, the soldiers who actually, at the 11th hour, it's almost like, I don't want to do this. I mean, they'd have to do it if they obviously were instructed to, but there's something here about this bear. It's sort of like she's uncertain and she's unsure. It's undecided is what I'm hearing. So it's very, I mean, the claws are out. Look at that, the claws are out. But she's spooked by something. And this is Russia. Mother Russia is spooked by something. And we pulled the Earth Dragon, didn't we? The Earth Dragon. I'm just trying to tune into what this is about here. Let me read what it says in the actual deck, because it feels as though she's spooked by the Earth Dragon. Can you look at those two cards and see the way they're looking at each other? The bear is spooked by the Earth Dragon. And of course, where do Earth Dragons live? They live within the Earth. I keep feeling there's something within the Earth. There's something precious that is within the Earth. And I've mentioned this before on the Ukraine-Russia video about the natural resources that lie in Ukraine. The Eden template energy, the divine feminine energy that is lying within that land. And it's almost as though what I'm seeing now is it's protected by this Earth Dragon who's sitting on the egg. And the egg is what I've just described. It's being protected by an earth dragon, and the bear is spooked by this earth dragon energy. However this plays out over the coming weeks, and let's hope none of it plays out, but say some of it plays out and there's a skirmish or, full-blown escalation, you will be seeing on the news it played out, with people and all the rest of it. But I'm seeing it now from a higher perspective. And actually I'm seeing the energetics of what created this, but also what protects it and what tries to allow peace to come into it. It's almost as though the energy of the template of the bear and the earth dragon are fighting it out. And it feels as though the earth dragon wins. Let's see, but wins in a very wide, meaning of the word. Not necessarily talking about, there's a much bigger war. There's a much bigger war, and it's about the future of the earth and her resources. And I don't know, whatever Ukraine has got is being protected at a higher level. Right, let's just have a quick look then at Earth Dragon. What does it say about Earth Dragon? This is a lovely deck, actually. I do like this deck. One of you sent this to me. Thank you. Just try and find the card. Sorry, it's a slow Saturday here, and I am in no mood to rush. Apologies. Having said that, I know I'm going slow, but I can't find the bloody card. Earth Dragon. Goodness sake. Oh, here we go. They're at the back. The dragons are at the back. Yeah, there's a reason for that, which is that it's like in an army. The old way was that you put, well, I don't know what the old way was, but what I'm being shown is your best soldiers are at the back. Okay, they're at the back. So you sometimes put the it's an awful thing to say, but this feels like, I keep tuning into, it's like there's something in this skirmish which is about bringing up for healing the energy of old wars, of wars of old. And I'm seeing, probably as First World War, Second World War, the young men, and they always put, the younger fodder. It's a horrible thing to say. They put fodder at the front, the ones that could go in, into the firing line, and they put their better soldiers. I want to keep on his shoulders. They put their better soldiers at the back. And what is at the back of this army is the dragons. So it says, the Earth Dragon is about power, potential, and riches. Yeah, something about riches. It brings us face to face with our potential. So remember, this is also now a message for you, not just about this situation with Russia and Ukraine. Within us, we have a treasure trove of riches, of powers and capacities, which we can learn how to use. In the past, we may have been denied access by the guardian of this treasure, but now we are coming to understand that this sometimes fierce guardian is in reality an aspect of ourselves. By coming to know and love the Earth Dragon, we will be able to unlock the secrets of our heart, and at the same time we will find ourselves discovering the beauty and the power that lie within the heart of those around us and in the very earth itself. I'm definitely picking up, and I noticed that the heart chakra card is on the bottom of this deck as well, that this is what this is about. It's almost like my heart's not in it. My heart's not in the fight. That's good, because what I mean by that is, and this is a metaphor for so much that's playing out in our world at the moment, where we fight against each other, where there is division and the separation. There's you in this camp, there's me in this camp, and never the twain shall meet. And I'll just keep throwing brickbats at you, and that's the way we've been doing it for thousands of years, so why stop now? But it's like both parties are starting to wise up to the fact that actually my heart's not really in it anymore. I don't really want to do that. And why don't I want to do that? I don't want to do that because I'm actually recognising that you're my brother, you're my sister. Why do I want to throw brickbats at you? Now, let's not get too up in the clouds with all of this. There's a very real, still agenda and people on our planet that do still want us to be throwing brickbats at each other. And they will do everything that they can in their power to make us fight each other. Okay, to turn families on each other, to turn people against each other, that you don't follow this agenda or you follow this person so you can't be my friend. You know, there's huge manipulation going on behind the scenes. Many of us are wise to this now and can see through it, but many can't. So, but definitely there's something turning here in terms of my heart's not in it anymore. I don't actually want to keep fighting you. So that's good. That's good. And it's because of, why is it happening? It's because of the heart chakra awakening more and more in many more people. So that can only be a good thing. I've got Merlin here now. He's saying shake again. Okay, well, he means the dice. So let's do that. So we've talked about the karma. Let's see where we go now. Okay, I mean, we can't skip karma. Okay, I'm not trying to skip it. You've still got to face whatever comes up for you in the coming week or the next cycle. Okay, and take responsibility. Actually, before I do it, this is important as well. Take responsibility. Somebody sent me an email yesterday along the lines of, I was forced to do something, but I didn't really want to do it. And can you help me now that I've done it? Okay, I'm being a bit cryptic because I don't really want to get into it in this video. So I've done something which was against, I didn't really want to do it, but I was forced to do it. Other people pressurized me to do it. Now I need help because I've done it. My response to that would be, the first step in healing is to acknowledge that you did have choice. And that's going to trigger the hell out of lots of people. But the truth is, we all have choice in every moment of every day. That doesn't mean that the choice we make is easy. It doesn't mean that if we make certain choices, there aren't consequences. But the first step of healing is to take complete accountability and self-responsibility for self. That is the path of sovereignty, okay? So again, there's karma is sort of in the energy of that, because it's like what you've reaped, what you sow is what you reap. And so it's like, whatever your deeds have been, whatever your words have been, whatever your energy has been, if you then get served up the crop that is maybe a little bit inadequate, or, you know, I'm being shown a limp lettuce for some reason. I'm being shown like a vegetable box, you know, it's the crop. But I sowed those seeds, and actually I'm the one that watered them, and I'm the one that didn't bother to get up, you know, and tend to them. Well, it's my responsibility now. I've got like a, you know, damp squib as a box of vegetables. It's that type of thing. So we have to take ownership for the actions that we've done in the past and where they've led us today. And into that absolutely comes the realm of health as well. And I say that not with any malice. I say that as somebody who myself, you know, I'm quite a healthy person, but I've got a few niggles. We all get niggles, and things that maybe are going a little bit awry at the moment and I need to deal with. And I'm not finding it particularly easy. But equally, I have to take complete 100% responsibility for why I might be feeling a little bit out of sorts at the moment, you know, in terms of things that I've eaten, things that I haven't been doing, you know, practices that I haven't been 100% hot on, all of that, you know. It's so easy just to go down into victimhood that, oh dear, I've got this or I've got that. But we have to own responsibility for how we are. I was with somebody yesterday and they had, well, I won't say what it was, but anyway, they had some issues that have come up. And I said to this person, I said, have you been eating a lot of sugar? And they said, oh yeah, I had loads, you know, a couple of days ago. I said, well, that's why you've got whatever it is. And they said, oh, really? You know, and acted as though they didn't know that sugar isn't actually very good for the body. We all know it, don't we? Come on. I like a chocolate bar as much as anybody. I like a donut as much as anybody. I'm terrible. I love sugar, but it's a poison. It's absolutely a poison. So if you're going to gorge yourself on sugar, okay, it's going to lead to certain conditions, whether it's tomorrow or whether it's in a decade's time. That's what I'm feeling here. It's an energy of you can't be sovereign and say I'm sovereign and not take responsibility for how you live your life. And that's just what I truly feel, you know. So the guidance is when we look at our life and we see something that maybe is awry, whether it's our health or anything else, it's like we have a choice, don't we? We have a choice what we're going to do about that. Do we take action and movement towards better health or better wellness? Or do we just want to keep on doing what we've always been doing, which has led us to where we are now and nothing's ever going to change, is it? So, but also the pathway is back to the heart, because the heart will show softness and compassion. It won't judge you. It won't beat you up and say, you silly sod, you know, you should have done this. Another example would be staying in a job, you know, or a relationship that you know you shouldn't be in. Ultimately, it catches up with you. You have to take responsibility. So, but the heart will show you how to help heal it. And it will be through love. Love, love, and love. Okay? Right, so anyway, having said all that, let's now shake the dice. I feel like I should be on a game show at this point, you know, with big flashing lights. Right, let's do this, guys. Also, keep your sense of humour, keep light-hearted, so important. Lots of people being triggered left, right and centre at the moment. Let them be. You just do you. Right, let's do this. Da, da, da. I'm feeling like one of those, what's it? Barry Manilow, you know, Copacabana. Da, da. That's what we've got to be. Right, come on. Where do we go from 19? We get a 10. We go to 29. Right, that is... I can't even say the word. It's oh, God. You try and say it. Irreligious... Oh, I can't even say it. Irreligiosity. Okay, I said it. Irreligiosity. It looks like it's the head of a snake. Okay. We don't like that. We don't like that. I'm going to go 3 times, guys. Because Merlin is all about the number 3. But let's accept the fact that we have landed on the head of a snake, irreligiosity, which takes us all the way down to delusion. How perfect. Yeah, exactly. It's what I've just been saying. How deluded can we be? You know, we delude ourselves all the time. We do. And so it feels as though this cycle coming up is us having to travel back down that snake and see, where do we delude ourselves? Where do we delude ourselves? Let me just see what it says, though, about 29, irreligiosity. It's a good word. Right, there's about 3 pages, so this is going to be hard to sum up. It's talking a lot about faith and the importance of faith. Oh, I suppose it's having no faith. Yeah, having no faith. Faith is the essence of the 4th chakra, which is the heart. Yeah. This faith can lead the player, if he acts in harmony with his true nature, to the plane of austerity. But if he is not in tune with his innermost vibrations, it can draw him back to delusion. Okay, I'm just going to put that book to one side at the moment because I haven't got time to read all of the pages to you. And I don't need to, because I need to just tune in intuitively. What this is saying to me is that a lack of faith, and particularly in ourself, to be able to right our wrongs, do what needs to be done, to evolve, to be more enlightened, to be a better person, to carry on, to move on. It's like a crisis of faith. There's a crisis of faith out there with it, but it's a crisis of faith with ourselves. And that's why, you know, it's perfect in many ways, because we've got a crisis of faith on one hand, and then we've got sovereignty on the other, the 2 axes. And to be able to stand in sovereignty, we've got to get past delusion. Okay, let me shake again. So we're back down to number 6, which is actually the lowest point on the grid that we've been on. I was watching a video from Eleanor, Holistic Vibrations, I think they're called. I gave them a shout out on Instagram, where they basically measure the collective vibration of different people, different things. Anyway, I caught one that they did recently, and I don't quite know how they do it. It doesn't matter how they do it. It's just a piece of information that resonated with me. And they were saying that they had somehow measured the vibration of the collective consciousness, whether it was a year ago, 2 years ago, and it was something like 250, something like that. And then they did it again, and it had fallen down to 100, which was the energy of fear. And that's what we've got here. Because actually, we are now, I know this is just a game, but it's more than a game. This is symbolic. This is a tool to help us understand where we are as a collective. We've slid right back down to 6, the energy of fear. So what's the opposite energy of fear? Love. So we have to be in love. We have to get past this place. Now, many of you will be, okay? I know I'm speaking to the converted a lot of the time, although don't give yourself total, you don't get out of jail free card here. You know, we all are deluded to some degree in terms of what we're not doing for ourselves or others or whatever. Because it's part of the human condition to shy away sometimes from what we don't want to look at. But, you know, you may very well be acting from the heart. You may very well be in a good love vibration, but the collective out there, which you are part of, is not. It's still crippled by fear, and it's crippled by a crisis of faith and ability to be able to look after self, to be sovereign. So, okay, so that's where we are. We're on 6. I'm going to shake one more time, and then it's 3, and then that will be where we're going to stay for the next month, I'm hearing. I mean, obviously energies can change, but let's just go. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. If we keep the faith, okay, and we stay in love, despite the collective being mired in fear and all the rest of it, and war drums banging and all the rest of it, we land on 17, which is here. Okay, 17 is about mercy, and mercy takes us all the way up this arrow to 69, only 3 short of the top spot. Come on. This is worth carrying on a bit longer for, isn't it? I can't believe that. That's the biggest arrow on the whole board. It takes us from 17 up to 69 to the absolute plane. Talk about fast track. I mean, this is giving me shivers, because this is, if we can stay the course and hold the line, we're on a fast track here to being able to accelerate the collective pace. Remember the 100 monkey syndrome as well. If enough people believe, if enough people have faith, if enough people stay in their hearts and hold the line, we can shoot the whole collective up from that place of abject fear, delusion, I can't do it, somebody tell me what to do the whole time, nanny state, all of that, please, you know, I'm powerless. No, okay, that's where they are, don't judge it. But those of us that can do this, we're doing it not just for ourselves, we're doing it for everybody. We shoot the whole collective up. And how do we do it? We do it via the energy of mercy. Mercy. Let me look at the definition of mercy, because it has many different interpretations probably, but let's just see what we get here. Mercy, compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone whom it is within one's power to punish or harm. And so the expression is the boy was screaming and begging for mercy. So it's that moment where we could go into vengeance, we could go into bitterness, negativity, wanting to, you know, throw the brick or the stone or whatever it is, you know, the brickbats I was talking about, you know, this energy. But we don't. We turn away. We turn away like the bear. We turn away. And we think, no, there's got to be a better way of doing this. By me doing that, I am taking myself down to your level. I become what you are. You know, if I meet spite with spite, I become that spite. If I can meet spite that is done to me with love and forgiveness and compassion, I can raise not my own vibration, I can raise the vibration of the one who spited me. Yeah? Mercy is one of the fastest tracks to evolving, enlightenment. I mean, just wow. if you could see, I mean, the depiction here is a great one, because if you could see all of the things that, it's not like we dodge because we've done them at some degree, but we're not tripped up by so many different things if we can just have mercy in our hearts. God, have mercy upon us. Lord, have mercy upon us. It's a part of the Eucharist, isn't it? The Eucharist has that. Christ, have mercy upon us. Lord, have mercy upon us. Mercy. Mercy, mercy me. So yeah, where the potential, it's a potential timeline for the collective to get to, is the absolute plane, 69. Which is about so it says Vishnu and Shiva in the middle of the game board in the top row, so they're supporting this energy. This plane is higher than manifestation. The 7 major and other minor planes mentioned are not mentioned on the game board. The predominant element is again Mahat. Those who have established themselves in the truth dwell here without fear of going through karmic roles again, while those who practice mercy also reach the plane of Brahma, the creator, and dwell there fearlessly. It's basically about truth. Truth alone can liberate the player. The other thing that's interesting, of course, about this game is that it links into the eternity of always there being another, you're not going to like this bit, there's always another level of learning. So once you reach the top, okay, once you reach the top, you actually go back down the snake to the beginning again, which is another round of life or another thing, you know. But anyway, let's just deal with one life at a time, shall we? I think it might make it a bit easier. Okay, let's just pull a few more cards now and see what other messages we've got for today. What deck did I have? I wanted to pull a few tarot cards, so let's do that. Let's do that now. I've got the Tarot Grand Lux. And I'm also going to pull a few cards from Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland. Right. Let's start with that one. Let's have 4 from this deck. So, messages for the people watching. It's oh so quiet. Shh. Shh. Joy and stability. I was hearing that Bjork song. It's oh so quiet. Shh. Shh. And then it's all about, and then there's going to be a big riot. But the riot is joy. The riot is joy and stability. For joy to be more stable on our planet, wow, would that not be something? And then we've got trust, you see. We've got trust on the bottom of the deck. Trust. Trust that we can stabilise the energy of joy and love on this planet. Okay, let's have 2 more cards. Love abounds. The Valentine's Day portal is important as well, of course it is, because any celebration of love, even if it is a little bit commercialised and all the rest of it, you can still make it into something that is true and honest to yourself. It should ultimately be a celebration of love in all its many guises. It's not about the chocolate box and the rose. It's nice if you get those, but it's not about that really. It's about the celebration of love. It's about believing in love. Love abounds with those who have got eyes to see. Love abounds. Let's see. What goes with love abounds? Success and growth. Win or lose as well. Success and growth. Beautiful cards. Good vibrations. Got Beach Boys song coming in now. Oh God, I just got that song in my head now. Good vibrations. It is. It's like, the thing is, what I wanted to say is nobody has the right to take the smile off your face. Okay? There are people out there who'll say, take that smirk off your face, because they don't want to see you smiling. They'll see it as a smirk, not a smile. Okay? Because they can't see the genuineness within yourself. I keep feeling I want to say, just do you. This love train that is arriving in town around our world is real. More and more people are getting onto it every day. But so too, there are other people who are just wanting to stay in the misery and the darkness and the separation and the division. They don't want to do the work. It's as simple as that. They don't want to do the work. But equally, maybe they're not meant to. You know, we do live on a planet of duality. For light to exist, there has to also be darkness, and there has to be shades of grey. But I'm speaking to people right now who basically enjoy the light and enjoy celebrating the light, and are here to, where was that Metatron card, bring balance back to a world that has become very fear-laden. And my heart goes out to some of the people I see just walking down the street who are just still so terrified to live their life. You know, you can just see it in their psyche. You can see it in their body language. It's like, come out to play is what I want to say to people. Come out to play. The waters are warm. It's that energy. And many people are starting to come out, and the waters are warm. And yes, there will be other tactics that are used to try and scare us and say, oh no, there's a big shark actually. You know, don't do that. But if enough of us can stay in our heart and in the energy of joy, success and growth is assured. Let's just pull a few tarot cards to end this. Just wanted to pop on today and say hello to everybody. Thank you also for all of your support always. It's very appreciated. I do pretty much daily videos on Instagram. Usually I copy them to Facebook unless, well, sometimes I forget, but you know, they're always on Instagram in particular. You see, I will say it's a joy to see such a beautiful community that I've got on those two platforms, and so many lovely people. But again, there's within any social media platform, we've got the flies, you know, and the flies I would call are the scammers, you know, the scammers and the trolls, but particularly the scammers. There are always fake pages of me on Facebook and Instagram every month. There's nothing I can do about it. So again, for you to be sovereign, it's another example of sovereignty, learning discernment. You know, my Instagram page has got 37,000 followers. My Facebook page has got, I don't know, 25,000 followers, something like that. So if you've got a page which has got 2,000 followers or something, it's not me. You know, if it's spelt wrong, angelic celestial colours, it's not me. I only have one page on both channels. You know, but I'm saying this now because it's just another example of something that is actually very joyous, and it's a lovely community that we've got there, and I appreciate you all. Sometimes we have our differences of opinion, but basically it's a lovely, lovely community, and it's okay to have differences. But, you know, within that, there's always going to be the people that try to spoil it. Don't let them spoil your party. I'm not moving off Instagram or Facebook because of scammers or trolls. You know, if I get taken off, that's a different matter, but I'll pop up somewhere else. Right, the Ten of Cups just popped out of the pack as I was talking to you. Okay, so the Ten of Cups is a great card. It's a card of, well, it's all of it. It's the happy home, it's the happy, there's even a cat there for goodness sake, you know. It's contentment is the word I'm getting, contentment. They are content, despite all of the other stuff that's out there, all of the negativity, all of the toxicity. It's real, of course it is. The devil's real. You know, I'm talking about the devil energy is real. Absolutely, darkness is real. Do these couple look like they're that bothered by it in that moment? No, because they're in their hearts, they're appreciating what they've got. And being in that moment and sharing that type of energy helps lift the whole vibration of the planet. You don't have to have a partner to do that. You can just lift the vibration of the planet by being content with your lot. Okay, contentment is a word I'm hearing very strongly with that. Yeah, because you see the polar opposite of contentment is the Five of Cups, which is like, oh, You know, I don't have that. It's in this context, how I'm reading it, it's very much the victim energy of, oh, you know, everybody else has got somebody, or everybody else is healthy, or everybody else has got money, or everybody else is successful, or everybody else is pretty. You know, it goes on and it's the misery party. Don't be in the misery party. You end up on your own, okay? Metaphorically speaking. Just because you're on your own doesn't mean you're in the misery party before I get called out on that. Okay, that's how quick people are to judge. Oh, you said this. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. You interpreted it that way. Okay, the point I'm trying to make is it's about contentment. It's being grateful for what we have in life. And when we're grateful, you see, you're not concentrating on the 3 cups you don't have. You're concentrating on those 2 beautiful cups that you do still have. Okay, and those 2 cups, if you concentrate on those, and everybody has got something to be grateful for in this life, leads to the 10 of cups. It leads to greater contentment. The more that we focus on what we don't have, the more that we attract that energy in. The more that we focus on, actually, I am grateful for the sunshine, these beautiful flowers, my nice gilet, which I quite like, my beautiful necklace that a friend gave me a few years ago, and I always remember her fondly when I put it on. Thank you, Petra. You know, that builds into greater things. Okay. You see, straight away I can hear there's feedback coming my way, because I'm hearing the energy that's coming back from some of you that are watching, which is like, oh, it's all right for you to say that. No, stop it. Stop it. Delusion. Delusion. That's where we landed. It's delusion. It's illusion that everybody else is having a better life, that everybody else has got it made. Nobody knows what anybody else is going through. Nobody. Not really. Not truly. Even if you live with somebody, you often don't really know what they're going through because you don't know what's going on in their head. Okay? So concentrate on what you do have. What you do have. And I know it's a struggle, particularly with mental health issues at the moment. Depression is a cruel disease because it often robs you from the ability of being able to see what you do still have. But start with the little things, okay? Start with literally, you open the curtains, there's rain, there's sunshine, there's flowers in the garden, there's warmth in your home. Somebody smiled at you today. It doesn't have to be the big things. The small things lead to the big things. Okay. 3 more cards. Let me just have some water. Being grateful for water. You know, do we know how many people have to walk miles a day just to get clean water? From a dirty, stinking well. It's the truth, isn't it? Don't have clean water to wash themselves in. We are so blessed, thank you God, for all that we have. And those blessings lead to more blessings. Blessings, mercy, gratitude, joy, love. Okay, anything else that we need to know, please? Metatron, with this week coming up, this next cycle. Anything else that we need to know? The Page of Coins, and I love the depiction of the Page of Coins here, which would be the Page of Pentacles, because there's this beautiful little deer, always about gentleness. Oh, it's got a little butterfly on its nose as well. That's a very youthful card, isn't it? That whole card is about youth to me. I'm talking about youth in terms of youthful energy, youthful vigour, children, young people, the next generation. They hold something very precious in their hand and they're not going to let it go. Look at that, they're not going to let it go. It's beautiful. Okay, what else do we need to know this week? So the children, young people. Metatron's drawing me to the fact that this child, which represents all children, can you see they've got like a green stone on their heart? So they live from their heart. Many of these children, they're living from their heart. They haven't got hardened hearts. They're just innocent and pure, and they can teach us so much. We've got the Hierophant card on the bottom of the deck. So it's like learn from the children. And we've got the King of Cups that's just flown out of the deck as well, with the Ace of Coins. I'll take that as well on the bottom of the deck. Interesting. So, yeah, you see, I was talking about the child with the coin, something that they have, something they wish to give to the world, and they're holding on to it tight. But they're the next generation. They're not yet mature, but they're holding on to it. It's to come. But here we've got the King of Cups, which would be the adult male, the masculine energy, who also has got something solid to offer. So there's something being offered this week by the men of the world, by the masculine energy within ourselves. It's a firm offer. And also the children. It's masculine energy here. The page is a male energy. The king is obviously a male energy. They both have something to offer. It feels fresh. It feels new. The King of Cups is... Let me just have one more card on that King of Cups. What are you trying to say to me? Oh, God, how beautiful is that? Yeah, well, you would be on the bottom of the deck. You're not so beautiful. We've got the devil on the bottom of the deck, but that's okay, because with all of this good stuff, you're going to have the devil energy lurking, trying to trip you up. I'm just going to leave him there on the bottom of the deck. We know he's there. Yeah, we know you're there, but we're not going to give you power. The more that you give power to darkness, and like, oh my God, the more that it grows. Okay, that's what it wants. It wants to be, for you to be really worried about it and, all of that. Because it doesn't want you to get that. The Two of Wands, what is that? It's the gateway. It's the gateway to the next level. The next level. The new life. I also feel this may be a little bit of an energy around Valentine's Day and love. It feels as though the masculine, the divine masculine, feels as though they may be wanting to step up more and offer something. Offer also another part of themselves that maybe you haven't seen before. The King of Cups is all about emotion. So maybe offering a different side of themselves, being more emotionally vulnerable, offering their heart. They've learned something from the past. They've developed from the young boy that they may have within them that have been leading the show, maybe quite immature behaviour or fickle behaviour. And they've turned into the king. They've learnt the Hierophant. They've learnt from it. It's a mature coin and offer that they make. And this Two of Wands is just very beautiful. And I can't help but say, what Ascended Master energy does that remind you of? To me, it's very Merlin. You know, I've been talking a lot about Merlin and he's so around, guys. I'm bubbling with excitement with the Merlin energy because it's so familiar, but it's equally so new. But it also feels so easy. I don't mean that disrespectfully to Merlin, because he's amazing. And, if I lived to 100 years, I still wouldn't probably know a drop of what he can teach me. What I just mean is it feels very easy to access, probably because I've had past lives studying underneath him before. But the point is, the purple and the green. I think in my last video, I actually said the colours for Merlin were blue and green. I actually meant to say purple and green, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, purple has got blue in it. Purple and green and 2 staves. And I will just say, for those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, I did put up something yesterday. I'm going to do another Merlin video soonish. And I was saying that who else had a staff? Who else had a staff? Moses. I think there's a connection with Moses and Merlin, and I think they are very much one energy. The 2 staves, Merlin and Moses. And but anyway, that's for another day. Green and purple energy there. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Is there anything else to say? Let's just pull one card from this deck because I have got it sitting on my desk. And I guess we'll have a squirt of something. What should we have a squirt of? Ooh, what do I feel like? I actually feel like I'd like to spray the Joseph spray. Because with all this beautiful masculine energy that is evolving to the next level, wanting to walk through the gateway, the Joseph template this is Joseph, the father of Jesus. it's a beautiful, beautiful energy because it's humble, it's grounded, it's wise, it's practical. Joseph also is the template for the father energy. The young boy needs the father. The father needs the young boy. It's that type of energy. Let's just spray the Joseph spray and bring his energy in. Oh, and of course, you see, we go straight back to what I was saying right at the beginning of this video. Selfless service. Selfless service. I can't think of anybody else. Well, I can think of other people. but Joseph was the epitome of selfless service. You know, he's pretty much not really even mentioned that much in the Bible, apart from a few places. But what he did in helping to bring up the young Jesus, the boy who became the king, okay, was off this charts. And he did it for no reward. He put himself, it was just selfless service. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so Joseph, just a good anchor is what I'm hearing for these days that we're in, to remind us and keep us centered, but remind us what is important. Okay, final card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle. Focus. Keep focused on what is important. Keep focused on, we've got diligence, very interesting, focus and diligence, and community. Okay, let's take both of those, and blessings. Let's just go through the whole deck, but you can see how, and thriving. I mean, look, you don't even have to be a card reader to be able to read these cards. Okay, we've got keep your focus, be diligent, see things from a higher perspective, be part of community that is loving and light and good and true and that supports each other, doesn't try to bring each other down, supports each other, which is inclusive to everybody of all sorts of different opinions, beliefs, faiths, genders, sex, colour, all of it, okay? And in that way, you thrive and you receive blessings. We're back to blessings. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Take much care of yourself, lots of love, and I'll put all the descriptions in the box below of the cards that I've used in this deck, and also this Snakes and Ladders board, which was actually part of it just comes in a book that one of you sent me. Thank you very much. I can't remember who sent it to me off the top of my head, but I appreciate whoever did. It's called The Yoga of Snakes and Arrows by Harish Johari. Take care, have a good weekend. Bye-bye for now. Be back soon. Bye.